What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with that real boxing thing, talking about real boxing talk on a boxing clinic today. And I heard a lot of people we was talking about today about this fight being overshadowed by Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, and that's one of the reasons why some people are saying McGregor and Mayweather is bad for boxing, because it's overshadowing good unification, undisputed bouts like this, where we get one lineal champion of one weight class, which seldomly happens in the world today, that's holding the majority of the belts, all of the belts, besides the IBO in this fight, because Indongo was stripped this past Monday of the IBO belt, which who gives a fuck? That belt really doesn't count. But this is the first, undisputed showdown since Jermaine Taylor, Bernard Hopkins won. And if it's anything like that fight, it's going to be a barn burner and a firecracker on regular ESPN next Saturday night, August 19th, I believe it is. The rematch with Taylor and Hopkins wasn't lineal shot because the IBF somehow wasn't up for grabs. Whatever happened with that, you can figure that up yourself. But you know what? When I said this fight was first made, I said this was one of the worst lineal undisputed fights ever coming in as far as promo and marketing. And I'm gonna take that back, man. I seldomly don't speak on guys like really hard until I break down some type of tape. And I broke down some type of tape with Julius and Indongo. I seen him fight Ricky Burns and other fights, but you can't really, judge a guy watching the fight live because you're scoring the fight, you're getting caught up with the broadcasters are saying. When you break down film, it's a little bit of difference. You can actually hone in on that fighters and what his flaws are, what his strengths are, and everything in between. And I got a chance to do that with Julius and Indongo today, doing film study before the prediction video next Monday I'm gonna drop, or I might drop a prequel tomorrow. So watch out for that. Might go live on YouTube with a prequel. And I gotta say Julius Indongo is an amazing fighter. I gotta give him his props, and I think there is a chance that he can pull off this upset. I think he has more than a puncher's chance. But my whole thing about his chances in this fight were they diminished greatly by him coming to America and not being able to get a fight in Vegas, in the neutral area in Vegas, New York, California. He has to go to Nebraska to fight Terence Crawford in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's Crawford's home state. He's from Omaha though. I just thought it was too much of an uphill battle for him. Even if he wins, he probably still loses on the scorecards, if you know what I'm saying. You smell me. And but one thing about this fight, it is true that McGregor and Mayweather is casting a big shot over. Boxing's taking all the attention, it's grasping it, it's absorbing it, and a lot of people are forgetting about this fight. And hopefully Fight Week it gets that buzz once again, and then we can move on and celebrate a great, undisputed showdown. But I definitely give, Julius and Indongo more of a shot now. I think this is more of a, maybe a 70-30 fight, maybe even a 60-40 fight. The more I watch Julius and Indongo, the more I'm impressed with him. He has good technique. He's a southpaw. He's almost 5'11". He's very, very rangy. And I think he gives Terence Crawford some trouble. And we know Terence Crawford is historically a slow starter. He likes to figure out his opponents, and it'd be funny to see which switch style that he stays in this time. Will he be southpaw more against the southpaw? Will he be orthodox more against the orthodox? And we got to see. We gonna see. But as far as Julius Indongo going as an opponent, he's very fluid. He didn't have much of an amateur background coming out of Namibia. That's in South Africa, and he's very rangy. He likes to punch. He likes to fight on the outside. Like to keep people at the end of his punches, and I think he has deceptive power as well. He made Ricky Burns' hands stay home. The whole damn fight with Ricky Burns, and but the thing about this fight that got me, leaning towards Crawford, or damn near on Crawford's side from the beginning was you don't know, can Indongo match Crawford's physical strength? That's one thing we don't know. We don't know about his chin as well, Indongo, but we know Crawford has had questions with his chin before with him Gamboa, but that was a blip. He said he wasn't paying attention, but people still is holding on to that. But the one thing we don't know about Julius Indongo is, will Crawford outweigh him by that much on fight night? Can he keep up with Crawford's physicality after the 6th round, the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, into the championship rounds? And I think that's the major question going into this fight. I think talent-wise, he can box with Crawford, but for how long? We've seen Delorme, Gamboa, Hank Lundy have success with Terence Crawford, but they all was just, outgunned as far as the chin, or they was just too small, or they couldn't match Crawford's workman, stamina. Him and Earl Spence are workman, man. When I say it, man, they can pull, they get stronger as the fight comes. They workhouse, man. They can just work you out down the end of the fights. They just get stronger, like a strong bell cow running back. The more you give him the ball, like Adrian Peterson in his prime, the stronger he got. And he eventually broke off them 80, 60, 70-yard runs late in the games. And the same thing with Terence Crawford and Earl Spence. You seen it with Earl Spence and Kell Brook. He got stronger as the fight goes on. He was down, but then he just got stronger and stronger, and his opponent got weaker and weaker. And I think that's what's going to happen in this fight with Julius Indongo. I don't think he's going to be able to rehydrate and be as strong as Terence Crawford down the end of those fights. I think 6 rounds it should be close. It might be close. It might even be Julius Indongo might be up. But I think Crawford's ability to make the adjustments to be physically stronger and more physically dominant than Julius Indongo is going to be an issue. And we don't know about Julius Indongo's intangibles. We don't know if he can, fight at the pace when Terence Crawford, picks up in the 7th, 8th, 9th round and goes to hyper speed with him. We don't know if Indongo has the physicality to carry that with him. We don't know if he can fight at a pace when Crawford takes it up to the 3rd or 4th, 5th gear on his ass late in the fight. Can he do it? We don't know. Honestly, nobody knows. We don't know with Julius Indongo, can he fight at Crawford's pace? And I think Ricky Burns, he was able to fight at the pace he wanted to and be very comfortable. Crawford's he can change the pace when he wants to. He can sit back, make you box, and in the crowd, we don't know if he's going to get amped up by the crowd and by the belts, and it being a high stakes fight where everything been on the line. We don't know if he's going to fold under the pressure. Is the energy and the tension in the building going to drain him? Julius Indongo, it's a lot of stuff we don't know. We don't know about his chin as well. And the unknown, always makes people wary and go to the known factor in Terence Crawford. Like, we know Crawford's going to dominate this unknown guy. And that's why you got to turn on the tape and watch Julius Indongo. One thing I noticed when Indongo is he fights with a rhythm, and I was trying to watch, without giving too much for the prediction video, but he doesn't need to set up with his rhythm. So he's a dangerous fighter. This should be an excellent fight. I got to give this a grade A stamp of approval for